I just learned from you that this is maybe the third or fourth time you've seen this, twice overseas and now once here in Brooklyn in a different community, a different framework. And obviously, theater isn't life. A lot of your experiences were compressed into 80 minutes. And theater is a metaphor. It's not meant to describe experience in a realistic way. But I wondered if there was a moment tonight, as you were watching, that spoke truthfully to your experiences in a way that surprised you or touched you, that you weren't expecting.
When I come to the US, there are several moments that touch me about what's happening in this country. And today was no different, and especially with the acting on stage. I was here in April, and when there were several stories, just almost like a cycle that doesn't end, of the murders, and the killings of young black men in the streets. And earlier today, I was speaking to a man at the hotel who was calling a cab for me. He's an African American, and he heard where I'm from and asked me about why I'm here. So I very briefly said there's a play about South Africa and the Truth Commission and so on. And he started telling me a story about his friends and how his friends feel about being American, and asked me whether I knew anything about the killings. And tonight, to answer your question, there was a moment when I felt, it sounds so simple, and you say so too, that when people open up, you do not imagine how much that does to a person who is wounded, a person who is carrying pain, which may not be his or her pain, but pain that's carried over from generations, the fathers and the mothers. Just a simple, this is what is going on. And it opens up so much hope in the other person that we can engage as a human being to another human being. And I think that for me, this is what has been missing. When I come back and I hear all these stories about what's happening in the streets, with the police and the young African-American men, there is something about that seems to be stuck, at a level where the openness still is a difficulty. And if that could be opened up, so much could shift. Of course, these are not panacea to the problems that your country and my country have, but it opens up a space for us to engage, for us to engage in a different language. And unless and until that happens, we remain stuck, in fear, in guilt and shame, and in not trusting one another. And these kinds of moments, these kinds of stories, one wishes that there could be openings of this kind.